gonna be completely honest, I think I've brought us back for this episode just to watch us get knocked out of the FA Trophy. How are we doing, everyone? Welcome to part 5 of this My Career series here on FM23. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video with Club 1, with Dartford, as we play in the FA Trophy against Altrincham in the second leg, and we play against Dover Athletic in the National League South. And if you're looking forward to see how those games go, please do leave a like on the video for me, and subscribe so you never miss any lovely Football Manager content from this space right here. I do think I forgot to turn my big light on, but you know what? I ain't standing up. We're going to roll with it. We're just going to go with the lighting that we've got and work it out. Since you were last with us, done all right, to be fair. We've done all right. I think it was the Farnborough game, wasn't it? Something like that, I believe. Yeah, won 3-1 there. And then we've done pretty well. Won the next couple of games back-to-back 3-0. That was lovely. Struggled against Dulwich Hamlet. Not so lovely. Lost against Altrincham in the first leg. Also not lovely. And then couldn't get past Eastbourne in the league again. 0-0. Didn't score. First time in a long time we haven't scored a goal. Sad times. But we're going to be going against Altrincham again today, away from home, which is where I am concerned. And this is going to be the 11 we're hopefully going to be seeing through to the next round. I highly doubt it, if I'm honest. Say next round. It'll be the final, actually. So we'll see what we can do. Either way, we made it through to a semi-final. It is Huddart in goal, Winter, Wassell, Esserman, Mundell-Smith in defence, Alan Livermore and Dowling in the midfield with Fonkeu, Mingoya and McGiff up front. We have settled on this formation. We've not gone back to the what was it, 4-1-3-2? We haven't gone back to that. We haven't looked at it at all. I have debated the 3 at the back. We haven't used it. I don't believe I will use it, but it's there just in case. Again, because this is a cup competition, Joe Iachiafano, Big Joe, he's not available for this game. But someone who is Elliot Andrew. We actually signed this guy a little while ago. We put him in our under-19s, or under-18, sorry, even though he's 21 years old. I've called him up because he's 2.5 star, 2-star-ish in that range, and he's got up to 5-star potential. He could be a pretty decent player for us, so I thought, why not? We've added him in. He's an extra striker. That'll do. But let's just get into the game and see what we can do, shall we? I'll tell you what, that right back, let's press him so he gets tired really quickly. Right, let's get into the game and let's see what we can do. Hopefully what we can do is go through to a final. That'd be lovely. I'd really like that. I would very much like that. We have also had a team meeting just to ease the pressure on the players in terms of the league title. I mean, it is looking very likely it's going to be ours at this point. Altrincham got interesting form there. Again, Altrincham, remember, league above us, but we've beaten teams who are higher up in that league than they are. So really, we should have a shout at beating them. Unfortunately, they seemed to remember that they're in a higher league than we are, and they did decide to beat us in the last game 2-1. It was a very frustrating game. We were 2-0 down. We did get a goal back near the end. And I don't know, there's just been a bit of a weird feeling of, are we starting to bottle things a little bit? Hopefully, once we get through today's game, we'll just kind of self-right, maybe. That's what I'm hoping for. A bit of a Sremek for any Robot Wars fans out there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. Lundstrom has just gone for a worldie there, and he hasn't got it in, and it goes out for a throw-in. And we're going to just go to the next highlight, which is going to be that throw-in. Wassell heads it clear. Wassell has been a very good player this season. He's had a couple of wobbly performances. He actually finally had the thing coming up saying he needed a rest. And Fonkeu has just given away a penalty. And I think, I'm no expert, we might be out the FA Trophy here. Yeah. 3-1 down. I don't think we're going to come back from that in this game. We've not looked like getting anything going forward so far. It's a bit of a concern, and we go a goal down. We're going to demand a bit more from the boys because they have battered us to begin with. Again, remember, they are in the league above us. I've tried to downplay the difference between the two leagues as much as I can justifiably do. I think we're at the point now where I have to say they are a league above us. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. Again, the FA Trophy. We wanted to do a respectable job of competing in the FA Trophy. I feel like we've definitely done that by getting to a semi-final. I don't think we can judge ourselves too harshly on this. The frustration I've got is just that in this game, we've not given anything, and we'd nearly go 2-0 down there, and that is a huge concern. I'm actually genuinely tempted to go with the 3 at the back, because we just We seem very often, and bearing in mind, I think we're playing narrowly, playing fairly narrow. There shouldn't be as much of a gap between these two, but there does seem to be an awful large gap between our defenders. So I feel like plugging another defender in there. Apologies, had to pause. Still got this post-COVID cough, and I was a bit fed up of sitting in the dark as well. So the light is on, the cough has gone. Let's carry on getting battered, shall we? Saying that, we're starting off with a bit of a counter-attack of sorts, and McGiff is in the box here, and McGiff puts it wide. Oh, he's a frustrating boy. He's such a frustrating boy. I actually don't know why I haven't just gone with Fonkeu as the second striker, because McGiff has let us down so many times. And at the moment, we are being played a bit off the park. It's a little bit frustrating. We're starting to come back into this half a little bit. But I think he might be too little too late already. We're just going to shout at the boys. Not good enough. Not good enough. Really not good enough. Right. I consider us to already be out. Let's do a bit of tactical fiddling. Now, I'm not saying this is a good idea, but we're just going to go for it. We're out of the competition. I've been intrigued to see what three at the back would do in terms of defensively, because I really don't like just how much there's a gaping hole in our defence at all times. So we're just going to go for it, and we're just going to see what happens. At the end of the day, I believe we're already out. Let's just have a bit of fun with it. We've got two attacking wing-backs. Let's get them forward. Luke Coulson is one of them. He can play there. It's not necessarily a natural position for him, but he can do a job there. Let's just see whether it can do a job. They reckon we should be doing early floated crosses. I mean, I'm not against it. Let's give it a go. Let's just throw things at the wall and see what stick. We're going to demand more. Again, we need 2 goals here, so having 2 strikers up front, I would like to think gives us a bit of an option, but right now, isn't looking like it's happening, is it? We're going to bring Elliot Andrew on. He is not necessarily the player I'd like to bring on in these circumstances, but we'll give him a go. You never know. He could just turn things around for us. Probably won't, but he could. You never know. Let's give him a chance. Let's definitely give him a chance. Jordan Winter's having another shocker. He started the season so well, and he's just kind of fallen off a cliff. So we're going to bring Bonner on. Bonner, do you know what? I was going to play him as a wide centre-back. I ain't going to do that. Looking at that, definitely not. Let's do that, and let's just see the game out, shall we? We're going out. We're going out in style. We're trying a different formation. We're going to try and fire the boys up and just see whether we can get something going towards the end. We've definitely maintained our chances that we've had in this game. It would be nice for us just to get a draw. Even if we don't win this game, even if we still get knocked out, if we can get another goal just to get a draw, I'd be quite happy with that. And what I really want us to do is to have this half be a 0-0 at the very least. Bonner does really well to intercept there. Don't know whether having the extra defender there actually helped us all. I also would have liked to have seen someone try and get onto that ball. And Huddart actually does well to claim the ball there, to be honest. Getting ready to slate him because that's the kind of thing he would make a mistake with. And it's a nice little flick on for Fonkeu, but unfortunately, Elliot Andrew is nowhere to be seen with that, nowhere whatsoever. And we're letting Altrincham have a nice bit of possession here. I mean, again, they're in no danger, but the amount of time that's left, we are not going to get past them. We are not going to get through. This tie is pretty much over at this point. It's a big ball over the top. Fortunately, our 3-man defence... I jinxed it straight away then. 3-man defence sort of dealt with it, but not really. And that's going to be the game, I think. I think we've done all right. We've come back in that second half. We've maintained a 0-0. Not that they've necessarily been trying that much, but that was not good enough, really. That was not good enough in the slightest. Oh boy, but the distraction of the cup competition is now out the way. Let's look at the positives. Now we can focus on the league. As you can see, 3 teams currently confirmed for playoffs. I'm really glad this graphic came up. 3 teams confirmed for the playoffs. Ourselves, Bath and Waterlooville. Havant and Waterlooville, sorry. Missed out the Havant bit. Realistically, with 4 games left to play, we are 9 points clear. We are the favourites. It even says there we are absolutely the favourites. Looking at the run-in, I mean, it's funny because it actually hasn't shown... Normally, I think this table literally just shows the teams that are in for promotion. This has shown all of them. So looking at the teams that are left, we have got Dover, Tunbridge Angels, St Albans City, and Hampton and Richmond. Well, where are Dover? Dover, I think, they're bottom of the league. So we've got bottom of the league Dover first, at home. Then we've got Tunbridge Angels, who are in the playoff places, and we've got them away. That's going to be a tricky one. St Albans City, at home, but they're a playoff team. And then Hampton and Richmond, who are mid-table, away from home. Compare that to Bath City. They've got Weymouth, second from bottom. They've got Concord Rangers, who are near the bottom. They've got Cheshunt, who are just outside of the playoffs. And they've got Oxford City in the playoffs. So I would argue we've got the slightly more difficult draw. I've just looked up and down at the table, and it's got the places here. Stu, look at the screen. We're actually very similar in running, so it's going to be the fairest running possible. Essentially, what are we? We're 9 points clear, I make that. And we've got 12 points left on the table. Really, we need a win. A win gets us through. 4 points guarantees it, dependent on other results. But a win gets us through. So let's get to that Dover Athletic game and let's see whether we can get that win. Time for the local game against Dover Athletic. I'll be completely honest with you. Geography ain't my strong suit. I didn't realise this is technically classed, at least in the game, as a local derby. It's also the game. If results go our way, we could confirm the title. No pressure then. This is the 11 we're going to be putting out there to see whether we can do just that. It's Huddart in goal. Bowman, Wassell, Smith and Mundell-Smith in the defence. Alan, Livermore and Dowling in the midfield with Fonkeu and Coulson supporting Big Joe up front. Mingoya has come down to the bench. Didn't have the best of times last time out. Coulson and Fonkeu have both been fantastic. The temptation to put Fonkeu up front is there. But Big Joe has been good for us since he's come to the club. He's not been spectacular, don't get me wrong. He's scored 9 goals for us since January. He's been alright. But I want to give him the chance. I want to give him the opportunity. But other than that, that's the 11. Let's get into the game, shall we? Dowling is quite tired, so we have got Mycareer on the bench. He hasn't played for us in a while. He's very up and down as to whether he's a good player or not for us. So, let's say marked improvement. We want a marked improvement. We want them to do better. Doing better is always a good thing. Let's see if we can win the title, shall we? Let's do it. Again, it does depend on our results. I don't like that form. That form is the worst form we have had in a good chunk of the season. But then Dover Athletic are bottom of the table. So, we'll see what happens. As you can see, there is the table. 96 points to 88 points. Bath have already played. So I do think if we win this game, I think we might be champions due to that result. My math might be slightly off. It depends if there's a 9-point gap between us and them at the end of this game. We might be champions, you know. Big ball forward. Fonkeu heads it into the box but doesn't really go anywhere. Dowling thought about chasing, ended up not chasing. Big ball forward from Dover, but we get possession back. Then Alan, I said Dowling. Alan gets it in to Coulson. Coulson to Big Joe, and Big Joe makes it 1-0. And it is his 32nd goal of the season. Bearing in mind, not all of that is with us. I am just going to get the league table up just so we can keep an eye on things. But yeah, bear in mind, not all of those 30 goals are with us. 10 of those goals with us. We scored 22 before we got here, but Coulson with an assist. So the decision to start Coulson ahead of... What's his name? I've forgotten his name. Mingoya. I forgot Mingoya's name. COVID brain is definitely a thing. I definitely still have it. But yeah, that decision ended up being a good one. And it's a big ball forward here, but Big Joe just couldn't quite get on the end of it. And now here come Dover. No, they don't. Mundell-Smith does really, really well. We changed him a while ago to full back on attack, and it really does seem to suit him. Certainly his ratings look a lot better in that position. And, you know, ratings don't necessarily always translate to what you see on the pitch, but they definitely have with him. And Coulson makes it 2-0. It's a lovely pass from Anya and Livermore, who, again, it's been disallowed. I was about to say, Anya and Livermore, we've moved him from that defensive midfield position, which he can do relatively well. He's well offside there, to be fair. He can do it relatively well. We've moved him from that to the box-to-box role, or at least the role next to the more attacking player. And we changed it up so it's an advanced playmaker on attack. That's Dowling, who definitely has suited that a lot more. And having a more supporting role next to him. Now, whether that's a ball-winning midfielder, not usually. Whether it's another playmaker, if someone like... Murtar. I've forgotten everyone's names. If he's there, he's more of a playmaking type. Or a box-to-box or a centre midfielder on attack if we want to put Alan a bit further forward as well. And it has seemed to have had more of a balance in the midfield. Certainly Livermore and Dowling have kind of really worked out a lot better in this system with those roles. I will say, I do think if we're to go with those players in those roles next season, we desperately need a better defensive midfielder. Luke Allen has done the job for us this year. But I genuinely think we need someone a bit better than him. And Livermore, I think, honestly, number one, his defending isn't the best. And number two, I think he's wasted there. I think he's got stats that suit going further forward. I think he's shown that this season. Smith's dwelled on the ball there, but we've managed to get the ball. And no, it's a penalty. Wassell had to give the penalty away to try and bail us out. He's given us a chance here because it was going to be a one-on-one. And we know what Huddart is like with his one-on-ones. which is basically what a penalty is. And I thought Grant had missed it. He hasn't. It is 1-1. Reece Grant gets the ball in the back of the net. And it's down to Smith. It's all Smith's fault. We're not going to see the replay of it. But he dwelled on the ball. He dwelled on the ball, and that is what the problem was there. And annoyingly, it's now 1-1. And we're not going to be winning the title. At least I don't think we're going to be winning the title anyway. We'll have to wait and see at the end of the game. I mean, we might lift the trophy at the end of the game, which would be fantastic. Right, Coulson now. Looks to get into Big Joe. He does get it into Big Joe, and Big Joe just scuffs it. Joe does not necessarily have the best finishing, but for this level, I don't think it's that bad. It's 11, I think. It is 11. But his composure is 9, so bear that in mind. Right, corner. Dowling whips it in, looking for Smith, and Smith redeems himself. The man who was responsible for the penalty. He didn't give the penalty away, but he was responsible for it by committing that really, really bad foul. Makes it 2-1 in the 37th minute. Goodness me, Stu. And it wasn't even the 37th, it was the 36th. I need to go to sleep. Bowman now with the throw. Gets it to Fonkeo. We're looking to get another one here before half-time. Wassell launching it forward. Looking for Big Joe. He finds Big Joe, who is quite wide. Goes for the cross. Dowling tried to get in there, but it's going to be Baptiste of Dover who gets on the end of it. And he's now going to try and build from the back. Big ball forward. Smith intercepts there. Livermore now looking for Big Joe, who's got to be offside. I'm waiting for the referee to pull it back. He hasn't. And Fonkeo now on the ball. Gets it to Bowman. Back to Fonkeo. Lovely move. Whips it in. It's a lofted cross to Coulson. Coulson's shot is saved, and Big Joe is there, and it's disallowed again because we just can't have nice things at Dartford Football Club. Coulson heads it. I mean, to be fair, it was pretty offside. But Big Joe has got a goal, so, you know, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good. We're going to just tell them to keep it up, because we are playing well enough. The midfield aren't having the best of games. We're just going to tell them they need to step up their game. Bowman's been okay. We're just going to tell him he's not been that bad, but he can step up. Do the same with Fonkeo as well. But other than that, we're just going to go again. We're just going to go again. We're going to demand a bit more from them as well. So this would put us 11 points ahead with 9 points remaining. This would be enough for the title. This would be enough to lift the trophy today. I have got my trophies here. No, just in case, if you don't know what I'm on about. These cheeky little fellas there. I have got them there just in case. A bit presumptuous of me, I know. But, you know, I like to be prepared. But that is dependent on us getting a win here. If we get a draw, I think, because we'll be level on points, it's technically still possible for us to not win it. And Fonkeo has got a penalty to try and score here. Dowling wins it. It wasn't the best of chances, to be honest, but Dowling made the most of it and actually won a penalty. It's going to be Fonkeo to try and make it 3-1. And he does. The keeper goes the right way. But Pierre Fonkeo makes it 3-1 to Dartford against Dover in National League South. And we might just be having a promotion party here today. We might just be having a promotion party. And it's so unlucky for their keeper. He goes the right way, but it goes through his hands. That's not very good, really, is it? Let's be honest. If the ball goes through your hands, then you have, pardon my French, you have fucked up. Let's be honest about that. Let's be completely honest. I think we're going to go to substitute o'clock here. I do think we need to make a change in the defensive midfield because Luke Allen's not playing well. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to bring on Jordan Winter because we don't really play him there that often. He's not done that well at right back recently. Let's give him a chance in another position. I also want to give Samir Caruthers a bit of run out because we haven't played him in a while. You know, he's done okay for us at times. Let's give him an opportunity. We'll bring him on as the playmaker. Dowling can go back to be the box-to-box. Very capable of doing it. He's just not as effective there. But we'll pop him there and we'll just see if he enjoys the rest of his game. And we do have one more substitution. Let's make that substitution now. And I think we'll bring on Mingoya. And Fonkeo is shattered, so we'll bring him on for Fonkeo. Fonkeo has had a fantastic game. Fair play to him. He's done the job, won a penalty. Well, no, didn't win the penalty. He converted the penalty, I should say. So he's done a very, very good job. Right, big header out from Winter. Grant is chasing it, wins it. And now they're going to try and build from the back again. Big ball forward. Smith heads it clear, but it's only as far as Candy, who goes back to Judd. Judd now launches it forward looking for Martin, finds him. It's a really good pass, actually. And we're just going to try and press them further backwards, try and win the ball off them. Wilkinson now gets it to Judd out wide. Judd out wide is going to try. That's not his name. He's just Judd. He happens to be out wide. And it's headed wide. And it is a goal kick. I don't know where I was going to go with that. It is a goal kick. And time is ticking down. I don't think they've got time to score 2. And we, at the first attempt, have been promoted. Forget the playoffs. Forget the playoffs. We are going up as champions of the National League South. That is a thing of you. Look at me. Look at me. I'm so happy standing at the side of the stage. I want to be on the stage, but I'm so happy. But ladies and gentlemen, the National League South winners, 2022-2023, Dartford. Get in there, boys. Hopefully that's the first trophy of many in a long and illustrious managerial career. Oh. Shame we couldn't win the FA Cup. Yes, the FA Cup. Yeah, it's a real shame we couldn't win the FA Cup. It's a shame we couldn't win the FA Trophy, is where I was going with that. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. Right, well, that's the season done and dusted, isn't it? 2 disallowed goals. I mean, what a game that was. 2 disallowed goals. They did have a penalty. We then had a penalty as well. The most important thing is we are the champions, and we are going up to the level just below the Football League. One step closer. When we get there, if we get there, I don't know whether the club is going to be big enough to sort it out. But I've got a couple of Steam achievements you guys can't see. We've won the league. Apparently, my conduct's not been great. Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? Big Joe's picked up a slight knock, which is not ideal. I mean, we've done it. We've done it. And we've kept a couple of promises to players because we said we were going to get promoted. We didn't necessarily say for this season, but we've done it ahead of time. The board are delighted, as you would imagine, 1 year ahead of schedule. And we have budgets. And those budgets are... Okay. Oh, okay. Yes, I see you, Dartford. I see you. We've got a bigger wage budget. Good times. And a transfer budget of just under 50k. That, well, it definitely solves a few things. The one thing it doesn't solve is the scouting budget. But what we should be able to do, hopefully... pop that transfer budget into scouting budget. And then we will get a new scouting budget next season. So when we do get that new scouting budget, we can shimmy it on the other way. And that'll be fun. But that'll allow us to scout some of the players we've had. Some of the players that we've had in. Who aren't going to show up on here, which is a little bit frustrating. We've had a bunch of players come in as scout reports from Premier League clubs. Annoyingly, I don't think I'll have the email anymore, but we can now use it to scout players who we don't have any information on. So I can have a look through, find the Premier League clubs, and see if I can go through and scout those players and see whether any of the guys who are getting released from Premier League clubs are actually going to be any decent. But we've got over £4,000 to spend on wages. So I wonder now whether we could offer some big boy contracts. I wonder whether we could. Shall we find that out? Let's find that out together. Who do we want to test it on? Is there anyone who's running out of contracts at the end of the season that we want to keep? You really, if I'm being honest. Jordan? Do we want to keep Jordan? Probably not. Herschel? Probably want to keep Herschel because he's got a decent-ish potential. Okay, he's willing to negotiate a contract. Let's have a look. So it wants 200. How high can we go? We can go to £750 a week. Big boy contracts. We can offer big boy contracts now. That is awesome. Right, I'll be honest with you. There's no point in showing you the last 3 games because, well, we're already going up as champions. So we're not going to do any better than we currently are. We're not going to do any worse, are we? So there's no point showing you. So we're just going to skip ahead. I'm going to play those 3 games. We're going to come back for the season review and a bit of a cheeky transfer window. And hopefully we can get this squad ready for the National League proper and see if we can get this team in fighting shape to do some damage up there. That's the plan. Hopefully it goes to plan. Guess we'll find out in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video and the series so far, please do leave a like on there for me. Let me know in the comments what your favourite bit's been so far. And remember to subscribe so you never miss any of the content to come in the future. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.